Welcome back to Doomsday Queen, where we're going to be talking about my kids' bug out bags. Now, well, we want to keep that in mind. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But every kid is different. You're going to prepare your kids' bags just a little bit differently. This is my 8-year-old's bug out bag. It is very small. It is very lightweight. It weighs less than his school bag. And I'm going to show you some of the items I have in his bag that go across the board for all of my children's bags. But he has some items that are a little bit specialized to him. First item, I think every single kid's bug out bag should have some sort of water filtration system. He also has a life straw, but that can be a little bit tougher for those younger kids to use. It's not impossible. He has used this outdoors many times, but I like to keep a water filtration water bottle inside. It's a little bit easier for him to use. And those two I feel like are a non-negotiable when you are putting items inside your kids' bug out bags. You want to make sure that you have one that they know how to use, even if it's a little bit harder, and an easy one for them to use that you know that they can use and they know how to put it together. Another item I have in my son's bag is extra clothes, because in the state of Utah, we get really hot in the summer and we get really cold in the winter, but I like to use food saver bags to seal them up so that they do not get wet if, say, it's raining or something happens. And this is just a great way. We lived in Alaska during a really big earthquake, and we did have to bug out of our house in the middle of the night. It was around 2 o'clock in the morning. It was like negative 10 degrees outside. It was pretty cold. It was pretty rough when we had to bug out of our house. So having an extra set of warm layers that are sealed up so that they're waterproof essentially was a great idea. And ever since then, I have done it both with hot weather and cold weather because I don't want anything to get wet no matter what. Another simple idea to put inside your bags, all my kids' bags do have a regular water bottles in it and food and snacks that they like, granola bars, and also some freeze-dried food in there, but most of them don't know how to do that themselves, so I keep the snacks and the food to very simple contents. One item I think is very unique to my kids' bags is that I put hand warmers and feet warmers inside. They do know how to use these. We use them when we're outdoors, when we're hiking, or just out side-by-side riding, so this is just an easy way for them to just have a little bit of comfort, a little bit of warmth. Another very simple item to have inside of their bags is an emergency blanket. Make sure your kids know how to use these, know how to wrap up, and talk to them about that it has the reflective heat component to it. Very easy, very lightweight, simple for them to have inside of the bag. Another item that I think is a great item to add into any bag, and it's very lightweight, especially with children, is a rain poncho. A rain poncho that can be draped over not only them, but their bag themselves, keeping that bag dry along with themselves. One item I don't hear a lot of people talk about is lighting. A lot of people will say for them to have a flashlight. However, I do pack them their own lanterns because why? Small children actually are scared of the dark more likely than less. And I did witness that when we had to bug out during that earthquake. It was very dark outside. My daughters were really scared at the moment, and just having an extra light for them to feel a little bit safer is an amazing idea. Another item that we do put in their bags, especially when they're very small, is a laminated picture of us. I never thought about that until I lived in Alaska and their preschool made them do that. It is a comfort item. It allows them to feel a little bit safer during uncertain times. My son also does carry a pocket knife. I don't know if I would recommend that towards other children because not all children know how to use a knife correctly, but you can adjust your kids' bags based off of their age level. He's had this bag since he was about 5 and he's 8 now, so he's about ready to upgrade and adapt a little bit further into it. He does have waterproof matches and he does have a lighter that he does know how to use. It's an electronic lighter that recharges, but he does know how to use both those items. So I highly suggest when you're packing your kids' bags that you make sure you pick equipment that they know how to use and you spend time practicing with them. You want them to feel a little bit safer in uncertain times. When he was really little, he had an extra blankie that he loved inside of there because it is an extra comfort, because you never know if it's a natural disaster or a worst case scenario of how your kids are going to react. Speaking of lighting situations, he does have a ton of glow sticks inside of his bag. He loves these. We use these all the time when we're out in the field or hiking, side-by-side riding, camping. He knows how to use these. They're one of his favorites. It's just kind of one of those items that's just like, oh, okay, this is normal for me to use. It's not something scary or intimidating, because you don't want your kids to be intimidated by their bug out bag. I also have their information on a card that's laminated. It is their date of birth, their name, how to get in contact with us, where he's from, his address. You want to have that kind of information readily available just in case you are not with them and they are looking for you. So make sure when you're adapting your kids' bags, you are being very cautious of their age, their skill level, their safety level, and make sure that they are comfortable with the bag. Don't make it something scary that's sitting in the back of a closet like, oh my gosh, that's the doomsday bag. Make it seem like it's something normal for them to pick up, see what's inside of it, look around in it, and make them feel a little bit more comfortable with the idea of emergency preparedness. Now, these are my daughter's bags. My daughters are a little bit older. One of my daughters is 13, the other one is 11, and their bags are a little bit differently equipped, but they're very similar at their very beginning setup. So they also have extra water, extra food, snacks, a water filtration system, ponchos, emergency blankets, lighting systems, whether it's a flashlight, headlamps, or glow sticks. They have all of those combined inside of them. They also still have the same laminated cards with their information on it. Well, they actually have a photo still of me and my husband when they were really little from their original go bags. So just making sure that they do have those normal comfort items, but let's go into their bags and give it a little check out. I know somebody is gonna come for my head, but my daughter does have one of those little miniature survival kits inside of her bag. This is something we do take out while we're camping, and we let her kind of mess around and figure it out and learn as she's going, because she is 13, she is getting older, and she's learning how to use equipment differently, and it gives her an idea of what she can do. It gives her a chance to explore and to learn different skill sets. And as she learns those skill sets, then we upgrade the gear, just the same as we would do for ourselves. We wouldn't use some pre-made package. We customize ours to ourselves. But as she is learning, it doesn't hurt for them to practice and try things, even if it seems discouraging at the very beginning. She also has 550 cord. She does love trying to make her own shelters, and she's very talented at it. She's got quite the imagination, and she is getting way more successful at creating structures that are structurally sound. In my daughter's bag, she does have a new headlamp with extra batteries. There's a ton of batteries in there. She does know how to put these together. She does know how to use them. She does know how to check them. And I didn't realize that she actually did not put this one together since Christmas. And so tonight I'm gonna ask her to make sure she puts her batteries inside of her headlamp. But these are things that she has grown up doing. And so it gives them a little bit more responsibility and understanding how their kit works, and that it doesn't make it scary for them. It's not something where it's psychologically disturbing, and it's just something normal for her to do, and it creates a lot of independence. Now, in my daughter's bag, even though they have very similar items, she does have a knife, and then she does have an everyday carry style knife also. She does know how to use a knife safely. I'm not so worried about it. She does have her own ferro rod. She is getting very good at starting fires with a ferro rod, but she's not quite there yet. So once again, she does have emergency matches. She has hurricane style matches and a lighter, and she does know how to light a lighter. Now, in my 11-year-old's bag, she just got her first ferro rod, and she has actually been practicing. I don't know if you can see it on there. She has actually been practicing using it and getting sparks to go. So she is gaining those skills as she is developing, but once again, she still has the same kind of setup as the other kids do. But it's teaching them different skills. And make it fun, make it an activity, give a prize at the end. Make sure that they are learning these skills that are very beneficial for them, especially as they get older. As I said before, my kids have all of their clothes sealed in food saver bags to keep them waterproof. My 11-year-old also has a knife, along with my son. All three of my kids have a knife. But the thing is, with my girls, I do have, their clothing is way more gender neutral than anything. So it's nothing bright, nothing that stands out. All their hoodies are black. A lot of their pants are black. They're a little bit just more blended in, so it's not like they're a beacon if something was to happen. The reason I have all their clothing gender neutral is because I do not want my children to become a target The reason I have all their clothing gender neutral is I don't want my children to become a target during a catastrophe or during a SHTF situation. I don't want them to be standing out and very noticeable. Now, One of my favorite preps that's in their bags is there is this little tiny game. I've talked about it many of times before, but this is Checkers to Go because kids get bored and kids need a way to occupy their time. So giving them something to do if they need to stay busy or stay quiet for any reason. A little checkers board. I think I got this one at Cabela's a few years ago, but we have a much larger one set up in our camper. Our kids use it all the time. It's a little outdoor rug. You can just like roll it out. This one's pretty small, and then it has the little checkers, and it just gives them some activity to do. So once again, giving comfort in uncomfortable situations and also giving them skills and teaching them how to use the items inside their bags. Now, they do have first aid kits. They have smaller first aid kits. So my son, his kit is a lot smaller than my 13-year-old's because he wouldn't know what to do with everything that's in there. His basically is Neosporin, gauze, a Band-Aids, those kind of things that he knows how to apply. As each one of my kids progress in age, my daughter, she has an allergy to peanuts. She has EpiPens inside her bug out bag. So every one of the kids, kind of their bags start to develop as their age begins to get higher up versus when they were toddlers. And I've been making bug out bags for my kids since they were born. So toddler bags, if you guys would like me to show you what I used to do for toddler bags, I would love to do that. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of bags you want to see, what kind of setups. And as always, make sure that you stay aware, stay prepared, and always have your head on a swivel.